Hey there, everybody. I just wanted to really quickly let you know about how my Sunday went. So I was in a place spiritually where I was thirsty. I was desperately wanting the worship experience among other worshipers in a church setting. I wanted to go to church. My spirit, my soul, my everything wanted to go to church. And so I wasn't sure, exactly where did God want me to go. I don't belong to a church. I hope and pray that it gets to be like that for a long time. And I have my personal reasons for that. And I'll share that some other time. But for me, I just was like, I miss the atmosphere of church. And I just wanted to go and have a good experience. And I wanted to go and have a godly experience. And so I went to a church in Nolanville, and I have been looking at this church for several months, like I think summertime. Actually, before it was a church, I noticed it. It's in Nolanville on the corner of 10th Street in Nolanville, and I would pass it often, like maybe 4 or 5 times a month. I would pass it on my way to go visit my spiritual mother in Belton. And I just kept looking at it, and in the beginning it was a store, a grocery store, whatever, and then it burned, a restaurant. And then it burned down. And then it was just an empty vessel, if you want to call it that. It was just an empty, charred little place. And then they start rebuilding. And then it became a church. And so I kept saying to myself, one day I'm going to visit there. I'm going to visit there. And God had said that particular Sunday, last Sunday, that's the church I'm going to go to. And so I was excited about it. I was like, all right, because I'm thinking in my mind and in my heart, I'm like, God's sending me there. That's one part of being the free worshiper that I am. God is sending me there. He's going to meet me there, and I'm going to have a godly experience with him that's different from the other experiences that I have had. And they've always been good. They've always been good. Always been rich, deep. They've been good. So I was excited. I said, oh, goodness, yes. I haven't gone to church, been inside of the building of a church, having a church experience. I don't know. I almost want to say 2 years, but I'm really not sure about that, because I know I've been to different churches and places, but they weren't inside. It was like an outside thing or whatever. So anyway, a friend of mine, a few days after that, had texted me and said, hey, I want to invite you to church. It's Friends Sunday or something. And I said, okay. I said, just let me know. Just let me know what time and everything like that, because I knew the church she was talking about was the same church God had sent me to, because she attends that church. So it was no big thing. I was like, yeah, just let me know what time. Honestly, I didn't know what time the church started, but I had took a picture of it on my phone. I was just going to look back at it. It was going to be easy and quick. Anyway, when I got to church on Sunday, I had a really awesome time with God, and he kept on. There was a necklace I was wearing, and it had tassels on it, and I was struggling with that necklace or another necklace that morning. Like, which one should I wear? I wanted to wear the other one, but I kept feeling like I needed to wear this particular necklace. Nothing special about it. I bought the necklace at Walmart. Nothing, it had tassels on it. I shouldn't say nothing special about it. God said there was something special about it. It had tassels on it. And in my studying and what I know tassels to mean for me, as a worship artist, praise dancer, and all that stuff, when we use tassels, it means to remember. So I'm in church. I'm having a remembering experience. I'm sitting there. Worship is happening. And God kept doing the remember this. What about that? And he just kept bringing up different scenes in my head. And at the same time, he also, my eyes are open. I'm seeing too, like the church family looks like a church family that I know, the church that the chairs, everything about this church was remembering. It reminded me of another church that I recently had been a member of. And I became a little bit, what's the word? I remembered. And then at the same time, he was like, I don't know how to describe it. It was like, for me, it was like, don't get too deep. Like, don't get too deep here. You're not to join. You know what I mean? Not anything bad against the church or anything. He's like, you're not to join. because it's familiar, you're not to be stuck. You're not to put down the bear tracks, or you're not staying here, but visit often. Visit often. And I was like, okay, it's a brand new church. And he was like, don't get too involved. You're not to join, but visit often. And the worship that I received was amazing. The worship that I experienced was amazing. The word that came about was profound and pungent and just on fire. And so I'm glad I went. I don't know if you guys have ever had those experiences. I'm driving. God tends to really, really dig into my soul when I'm driving. So I've been wanting to get on and share this since Sunday. I meant to do it on Sunday, but it didn't happen. So I wanted to know, as far as you guys that are listening, like, do you ever, like, I was thirsty for worship. I was missing, I was aching for worship with worshipers. It wasn't just that, because I can worship at home. I listen to my sermons at home. I even do my own studies. I teach studies. I do a podcast and all that stuff. So it wasn't the fact that I wasn't being fed. I'm definitely being fed. It was, I missed worshiping with worshipers. That was what I needed. And so I encourage you, like, if you feel hungry for the word, if you feel hungry for something spiritually, it's like being malnourished. That's exactly what I felt. I felt malnourished. I felt depleted with worshiping with worshipers. I'm a worshiper. That's why I did the whole shirt thing. That's why God had me do the whole double P's on the worshiper shirt. It's all about, for me, it's worship. And so I'm not gonna not ever go into a church building. That's not what I'm saying, because I went Sunday. I'm going to go all over the place. I'm going to experience God everywhere that he will allow me to. I am going to be with worshipers all over the globe. That's why I cannot join a church, because I have to be free to flow. I have to be free to go to different places to worship, and to worship along with, and to lead worship. I have to be able to do all of those without being obligated to a building, like one building. That is where, and I did my time. I did what God told me to do. There was a time when that's what it was for me, and you may have experienced the same thing. It's not like that anymore. I'm at a different place. I'm in a new dimension with God, and that, I mean, I can't even imagine after this season has passed what's next. I can't even imagine. I can't even wrap my brain around it, because I'm still trying to absorb this one. All right, I just wanted to share that with you. I was thirsty for worship, and I finally got it. Amen. All right, y'all be blessed.